What's up, everybody? Hey, this is Mike Widmer with the Expansion Real Estate Group. Happy Friday to you. It is September. I hope you all had an amazing, safe, fun Labor Day weekend as we kind of wrap up summer and head into the fall. And all is right in the world. Last night football started. So go Vikes, go Cards. Go Cards too, but go Vikes first. So what has been happening in our real estate market? So today, not a whole bunch has happened. I'm going to show you the stats, but if you're watching this video, I want you to stick around because I'm going to talk about something that's brand new in real estate. I think it's my job to keep you guys informed of things that are coming on the cuff of real estate. So let's jump into the stats real quick and see where we're at, and then I'm going to talk about something new. All right, here we are on our Cromford Market Index. So for September 1st, you can see here we did continue our downward trend. Not by a whole bunch, but we did drop from 161.3 down to 156.7. So about a 5-point drop. And from there, from that 156.7, today we are down at 154.5. So about a 2-point drop in about a quarter of the month. So that's going to put us on pace for about a 10-point drop if things stay the same. And you can kind of really see that here on the daily chart. As you can see right here, it's really kind of accelerated down. I'm going to show you kind of why I think that's happening in a second, but let's also take a look here. So our supply has actually went up. We've been talking for months and months and months. That's been dropping by a ton. Last month we went up by about 1%. This month we went up 7% in inventory. We went from 9,076 listings last month to right now today 9,721 active single family homes. So a 7% increase. In that same time frame, demand has went down. Last month on this chart it was 77.7 and today we're at 76.3. So just again, supply going up, demand going down. What does that mean for the market? It's going to decrease, right? So here is why I think that supply is going down. I don't talk about rates all that much to show you because they kind of are what they are, but I've said this before, there's some sort of psychological thing with buyers that when rates get over 7%, they just like, nope, I'm not doing it. And again, we got spoiled for years and years with these low rates, but 7% is kind of seems to be their threshold. But look at this. So we started off last year, or this year, kind of below 6. We were in the 6s, kind of got down to 5, been in the mid 6s all year. And then just right here, look at this. So what is that? August 17th, we popped over 7% interest rates nationally. Okay, this is a national average. But look how that correlates with the daily chart. Remember, we were bounced between 165 and 160 on the chart for almost 4 months. And then right here, October 19th, we dropped below 160. But from that point of October 7th or August 17th, when the rates went to 7%, that is when this escalation started. So are they completely correlated? I don't know, but I do know that buyers do not like those high rates. And it seems now, even look at this last dot, like there's a pretty big gap. That's a 0.5 point drop in one day. We haven't seen that in quite some time. So something to keep an eye on. We'll continue to watch the market every single month and see where we're at. But right now it does look like we're going to get more and more soft in the market. So better for buyers. Not that it's bad for sellers. My last 3 listings, I've sold in under 4 days. So the market's still good. If you market your property right and price it right, it'll still sell. But good news for you buyers out there. It may be getting a little bit easier as we kind of creep in if these rates stay higher. Okay, so that's where we're at for the market. Let me close this down real quick. And so this is something I don't normally do too much. I'm going to give some opinions on this. But the first thing is not an opinion. There is something that is brand new in the market that I found out about maybe 2.5 weeks ago that totally kind of shook my world. We've all heard of a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Basically what that is, if let's say you have a house that's worth $400,000 and you only owe $200,000 on it, the bank will give you basically like a checkbook up to about 85 or 90% of your value to use that money to put it in a pool, to pay off some credit cards, to consolidate. But that HELOC for the last, 10 years has had an extremely low interest rate. Under 2%, 2.99 for a long time. But now, since the Fed started to raise the rates, like we have one on my parents' house, and it's jumped up to almost 9%. It's crazy how much it's went up in there. So there's now something new to combat that because people don't want to pay that 9%. So there's something called, and you're going to start to hear this, I guarantee you're going to start to hear this thrown out there. It's called a home equity agreement. Okay? So here's what a home equity agreement is. It's an agreement, which it says, but a bank or a company, whoever it's going to be, they will, let's say, again, for an example, let's say you have a house for $400,000 that you own free and clear, okay? And let's say you need some money. This company that's doing this home equity agreement, let's say they'll give you $100,000. So your house is worth $400,000, they'll give you $100,000 cash, okay? In your bank account, it's yours. There's no loan, there's no payment, there's no interest, there's nothing. What are they doing? They're actually buying a fractional ownership in your house. So they're basically buying 25% of your deed. So they're giving you cash for future value on your house. That's insane, right? That is something totally new and off the books. This is where I'll get into some opinions. Well, actually, this next part's not an opinion either. You guys remember the last 2 or 3 years when the market was going bonkers, right? It was all institutional